When in doubt, it's aliens. It's always aliens. At least that's what I learned from the X-Files. I want to believe. Hey guys, welcome back to the STEMulus. I'm Steph, and here's what happened this week in STEM. First up, DARPA wants to make robots more talented and cultured than you. Their musical improvising collaborative agent, or Musica program, is working on developing robots that can create and play a jazz solo in real time with humans. According to Ben Grosser, a jazz musician and an assistant professor at the University of Illinois School of Arts and Design, the goal is to, by next summer, develop a call and answer system to present to DARPA. This system would be capable of listening to a line of music, analyzing it, and then answering in as close to real time as possible. In order to accomplish this, the system will rely on a database of jazz solos that the researchers are currently compiling. The program will be capable of analyzing different components of human jazz performance, such as pitch, beat, rhythm, and harmony. While Grosser admits that the system is not going to be of Miles Davis caliber, the hope is that the system will at least be at a high school level. Jazz music was chosen because it is an incredibly difficult style to imitate. It's very unpredictable, relying heavily on improvisation. But why is the military interested in teaching robots music at all? Well, the hope is that this kind of technology will pave the way for a more natural form of communication between humans and robots. Technology capable of learning instant and appropriate responses to human actions would be incredibly useful on the battlefield. And this is how the robot uprising starts, with jazz music. I guess it could be worse. I actually am a huge jazz fan. On the other side of the planet, scientists have discovered evidence of the oldest life on Earth. And surprisingly, it wasn't in that jar of pickled eggs that I found in my buddy's fridge in college. It was real gross. Nasty. Who eats that? A team of scientists led by UCLA's Elizabeth Bell have discovered over 10,000 mineral samples known as zircons in Australia's Jack Hills, and some of these samples can be dated back to as much as 4.4 billion years. However, one zircon in particular caught the researchers' attention. This is because it contained carbon-12, which is the type of carbon produced by living things. While we didn't find life itself, this is still a pretty significant find and a very strong piece of evidence. Before this discovery, the oldest chemofossil on record was 3.8 billion years old. Since we know very little about how Earth's biosphere had developed up until this point, we really had no way of knowing if life existed before then. Until now. Using uranium-lead dating techniques, researchers were able to date this sample of zircon back to 4.1 billion years. That means life existed at least 300 million years sooner than we thought. According to Bell, this is an incredibly important discovery, but due to the rarity of the evidence, it's going to take a long time to confirm it. Speaking of other really old things, scientists have discovered a new species of Galapagos tortoise. If the term Galapagos Islands is giving you flashbacks to that freshman year biology course, you know, the one where you were always trying to hide behind your neighbor because, let's be real, biology just wasn't your forte, and he kept falling asleep, and you were trying to lean down on your desk and appear a little bit more invisible, but you kept getting called on anyway, and you didn't know the answers, and it was awful. Sorry, where were we? Anyway, this probably sounds familiar because Charles Darwin spent a significant amount of time there in 1835 developing his theory of evolution by natural selection. Despite being heavily studied since Darwin's departure, the archipelago is still serving up all sorts of surprises, the most recent of which being the discovery of a new species of one of its most well-known inhabitants, the Galapagos tortoise. The giant Galapagos tortoise is very aptly named. It can reach up to 5 feet in length and weigh anywhere from 350 to 500 pounds. These guys have no natural predators or competition, so they can get their herbivore on as much as they want, munching on cacti, berries, shrubs, and grass. They can live up to a century. Told you they're old. And the oldest known tortoise on record lived up to 175 years in captivity. Before this discovery, there were 14 known species of Galapagos tortoise, with 4 of them being extinct. It was thought that each one of these species had its own island to itself, but that's not the case anymore. The Santa Cruz Island, the second largest island in the archipelago, is home to 2 species of tortoise. The larger group of the two has about 2,000 to 4,000 individuals and resides on the southwestern part of the island, which is more humid and has higher altitudes. This group is known as the La Reserva group. The smaller group, which only consists of a couple hundred individuals, is known as the Cerro Fatale group. This group resides on the eastern part of the island, where it's a little bit more dry. Physically, there's not much difference between the two groups, but that is not the case when it comes to their genetics. In fact, 25 mitochondrial DNA mutations separate the two groups. The researchers also analyzed 12 highly variable regions of nuclear DNA known as microsatellite loci on 51 different tortoises, and they also found massive differences between the two groups. Originally, it was thought that only this species inhabited the island. However, after the study, it became clear that the Sterophytale group was a different species entirely. This new species of tortoise is named after this guy, Fausto Uranus Sanchez, aka Don Fausto, who spent over 40 years as a park ranger and caretaker of these endangered tortoises. Oh, the feels about tortoises. I don't know. Our final story of the week deals with a mystery in space. The Kepler Space Telescope has noticed fluctuations in light coming from this star, which is located approximately 1,500 light years from Earth. Now here on the STEMulus, we've covered stories like this before, and it typically turns out to be a potential planet. What makes this time different is that the light gets blocked out at irregular intervals, and we've seen it be blocked out for up to 80 days at a time. Now, if this was a young star, it could be possible that the light was being blocked out by a rotating disk of ice and rock that just hasn't formed into planets yet. However, this is not a young star. There are still several other possibilities that exist. It could be an instrument malfunction, yikes, or a planetary calamity that caused the formation of an asteroid belt, double yikes. Another theory is that the star passed close enough to another star to suck in a swarm of comets. This seems to be the most widely accepted theory by the scientific community, however, it is extremely rare. But what if there was another possibility? Say, aliens? There are some that believe that this could be the case, namely a group of citizen scientists known as the Planet Hunters. This group has actually submitted a proposal to point the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia at the star in search of radio waves. If radio waves are detected, this could be evidence that a technologically advanced civilization exists. This group would then want to follow up this observation with another observation by the very creatively named Very Large Array in New Mexico. So let's entertain that idea of aliens for just a second. If they do exist, what could they possibly be building that would be large enough to block out the light? Enter Freeman Dyson, who came up with the concept of Dyson spheres. And no, they are not a contraption to help your super overpriced vacuum be more maneuverable. Dyson proposed that some alien civilizations could be so far advanced that they would need to harvest energy from the star in order to meet their energy needs. One way to do this could be to surround the star with a spherical structure made up of solar collectors. Now, whether this phenomenon is natural or alien, it's still pretty rare and pretty awesome. So that brings us to our question of the day, guys. To quote one of my all-time favorites, Arthur C. Clarke, two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. What do you think? Do you think that aliens exist? How do you feel about that possible existence? Let us know in the comment section down below. As always, if you want to check out any of the stories I covered a little bit more in depth, I'll include links to my sources down below, along with links to all of my social media, so check that out in your free time. If you like this video and science is your shtick, or you just think I have a really great personality, feel free to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out videos every week to talk about the latest and greatest in STEM news. Also, huge news, guys! Due to lots and lots of demand and lots of requests, we are going to sell this design that I'm wearing right here for one more week. That's it. Then it is gone forever. I'm working on a design that will sell pretty regularly, but this is an exclusive, like early on STEMulus design, and it's gonna get retired after this week. So if you wanna pick up one of these super awesome STEMulus shirts before they are gone forever, I will include a link in the description down below to the represent.com site. Please go check it out, spread the word. Every cent from these sales goes back in to the channel and making it more awesome. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. It's so awesome. And for those of you that are still getting your STEMulus shirts, send me your STEMulus selfies. I'm so excited to see all you guys wearing them. It's so freaking cool and just so surreal. So again, thank you guys so much for the support. It's just awesome. And also, I'm probably gonna buy at least 2 more of these shirts because I really like this design. I don't know, does that make me narcissistic? It's cool, it's a really cool shirt. So yeah, do the thing. But with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay well, stay awesome, and I will see you next time. And collaborative. And or music program are working. Earth's biosphere had developed up until this. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera. These cars keep driving by and I keep getting blinded, but I have to have the window open so that hopefully it doesn't cast a shadow on the green screen. It's all very technical. I really don't know what I'm doing. I just pretend a lot. Galapagos, 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 Galapagos tortoise. Galapagos tortoise. Galapagos tortoise. This is going to be real bad if I can't say this because it's a lot of tortoises. Species of Galapagos tortoise. Tortoise. Oh my god, if I can't say this word, it's going to be a really long story. No bark. Mommy's working. Galapagos tortoise. Sailboat. For these tortoises. They're tortoises. Say words, you know them. The cup. Hello from the other side. I only like my chicken fried.